Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Akabane101 and welcome to another episode of Dark Souls Prepare to Die Edition for the PC. This is episode 13, and today we are doing things a little bit differently, coming back to our roots of doing post-commentary. And the reason is because I decided not to record my voice while playing because I was a little bit rusty when I picked up the controller. Haven't played the game for about a week, so you will notice that in my play. Anywho, we decided to level up with the experience we got from our previous battle to get Dexterity level 23, as well as we are just testing out some different gloves that we can try here. Anywho, we're going to wake up Framped, and we are going to place the Lord Vessel down to unlock the rest of the game for us. So let's go ahead and wake him up.
No, I'm fine. Well and wide awake. Do not treat me like an old withering snake. Heavens! You have done it! You have retrieved the Lord Vessel. After 1,000 years, it is you. It is really you. Forgive me. I really should calm down. Now, let us take that vessel on a journey. I assume that you are ready. Now, be still. This is the Firelink Chamber for the successor of Lord Gwyn. Now, place the Lord Vessel on the altar. Very well. As Kingseeker, I shall now instruct you, the Lord's successor, in your next task. To achieve your fate, fill the vessel with powerful souls, commensurate to the great soul of Gwyn. Scarce few possess such brilliant souls. Grave Lord Nito, the Witch of Izalith, the 4 kings of New Londo, who inherited the shards of Gwyn's soul, and Lord Gwyn's former confidant, Seath the Scaleless. All of their souls are required to satiate the Lord Vessel. Are you ready? Then we shall return.
Alright, so this sets the stage for us in this Let's Play. We have now placed the Lord Vessel, which will allow us to enter the area we need to go to unlock the DLC, as well as take on Nito, and take on the Witch of Izalith, as well as Fire Stage and the Centipede. So this is great news for us. Unfortunately, the one downside to all of this is the simple fact that we will not be able to be introduced to the amazing character known as Cath. Cath is the other snake, other than Frampt. There's only 2 snakes in this game, one Frampt and one Cath, and they both share different sides and try and manipulate you in different ways to pick the final ending of the game. Now, I'm not going to go into full detail as to what we do at the end of the game. I'm going to basically explain a lot of things during the credits at the end of the game. That is all story-based, so I'll try and keep as many spoilers out of the game for those who have not actually beat it yet. Although we are now back in Anor Londo, and this is titled Seath the Scaleless, so we don't do the DLC yet, but I'm pretty confident that in the next episode we will actually go straight towards the DLC and do that. It's just in this situation I decided I wanted to do Seath the Scaleless, get them over with, get them done, and we will just have 3 Lord bosses to fight, and we will be A-okay. This is the Crystal Halberd. You get it by killing that mimic. To the right of Smo, the statue of Smo, and to the left of Smo is a lovely twinkling Titanite, which is extremely useful for upgrading. Mainly, you'll be using Titanite to upgrade your Dark Knight gear, like weapons and stuff like that are special. However, I generally only use my Twinkling Titanite to upgrade my armor. My armor that requires Twinkling Titanite. I don't know why that is, but I just decide that is probably the best thing for me since I never really use special weapons such as the Black Knight Halberd. I generally don't find that to be that useful of an item. I'd rather just use the Gravelord Sword and not really worry about upgrading and leave my strength at 16 nowadays to bump up my dexterity and endurance to level 40. Anywho, this is the special way to, or an easy way to take on this boar demon here. All you have to do is run back to the stairs that enter you into the tunnel, and you should have absolutely no issues at all. However, I'm really bad, and wasn't cluing in that you need to do a jump attack so you don't get your sword to bounce off him. Do a jump attack, jump attack, jump attack. Yeah, man. So that's why I sped up this fight here, because it is a little bit of a pain in the butt trying to do your jump attack over and over and over again to take him out. Unfortunately, there are 2 boars, so we have to take on a second one. However, I will show you the equally easy way to take out the second boar in case you are having issues. I know I always have issues with these boars. They are a pain in the butt. You may notice that I use Hidden Body here. I was just trying to see if I could get around him. However, you have to run right into him and get away from him in time. Now, he de-aggroes me because I am using Hidden Body and he couldn't see me anymore. So I went for the bonfire, and turns out that the bonfire still doesn't want to work. So we have to re-aggro him and kill him off. And again, this is another one of those fights where it just takes forever to kill him, so I will speed it up in just a moment here. However, if you pull the boar over to the left of the elevator, you will be able to just take him out with absolutely no issues at all. Just be careful of his swipes and his attacks, because he can be a little bit dangerous. So we'll speed up the fight here, and note that I use Great Magic Weapon to see if it does a little bit more damage. Thankfully, it does do a little bit more damage. I get hit there, take almost all my health away. Luckily, we upgraded our vitality so we don't get one-shotted by the boar demons, so we should be okay. We'll grab the bonfire. This will allow us to warp here anytime we want, thanks to the Lord Vessel. And then we will be able to go ahead and take the elevator up to where we will be able to get the Broken Pendant. Now, if you don't know about the Broken Pendant, is the item that is required to access the DLC, as well as you need to clear out the Hydra, where we freed Princess Dusk of Ulasil. So, we'll take out these guys. Note that I use Hidden Body once again so I can get some easy backstabs on them. These guys usually do a ton of damage, like a ridiculous amount of damage, so you better not get hit by them. And that is why I use my beautiful Hidden Body. However, a good idea to have is make sure you buy the ring from the apprentice that we just talked to a little bit earlier, the one that is currently in Firelink Shrine. He has a ring that allows your sorcery to last longer than normal, and I highly recommend you get that ring. Unfortunately, I completely forgot about the ring during that time. I was extremely rusty during playing this time, and you probably have already noticed it, me getting hit by the boars multiple times. This is a little bit of a pain. But anywho, you saw that we killed the crystal golem, and now we have the broken pendant, and I was tempted to go back to the with my homeward bone and head back to Firelink Shrine, go where we freed Princess Dusk, and go straight to the DLC. I thought this was going to be a DLC run, but it is not. We are going to clear out everything, clear out Seath the Scaleless, get him over with, and get headshot by an archer, which honestly that did a ton of damage, thus making me really happy that I upgraded my vitality. I would say that a baseline vitality that is really good is probably 20. That is probably my favorite way to go once we finish Anor Londo. Nothing really one-shots you until after Anor Londo. That's when I feel that the game ramps up in difficulty. We're not going to take the shortcut here, so we are just going to make sure we have as much curse resistance as possible, which I'm pretty sure that it's the Shadow Gear that gives that. It has toxin and poison resistance, but I think it also has a curse resistance as well. I could be completely wrong and think that it's actually the Pyromancer set that does that, so I honestly do not know completely. I haven't checked the Shadow set's curse resistance in a long time, but it seems to always keep me from getting cursed from Seath, so I have no quarrels in using it. Take out this guy after a nice little parry and attack when he gets right back up. Take him out for about 3,000 souls, and we'll head straight up to the boss fight after taking out this lizard, which gives us a couple of Twinkling Titanite, which is also really nice to have in upgrading my gear. Anywho, here is the fight. I'm not going to spoil anything. So if you haven't guessed already, that was a scripted scene where Seath the Scaleless kicks your ass. Now I guess it's time for some payback. He throws you into one of his prisons, and now we will just quickly turn our HUD back on and put our normal clothes back on that is not the Shadow Gear. We are greeted with a nice little handy bonfire, so thanks to Seath for that, I guess, to leave a handy-dandy bonfire in our own prison. We'll be able to replenish anything that we have lost, as well as with the Ring of Sacrifice, we are still human and don't have to worry about anything making us undead. So we are pretty much happy for the Ring of Sacrifice. Probably one of my favorite rings in the game for this moment, of course. Pretty much a must-use item. So we'll see that there is a cutscene here where one of the snakes from Sen's Fortress apparently is working for Seath, which is kind of interesting. I didn't expect that the first time I actually saw this. And the gate now opens, freaking out these squid-like things, which were most likely the experiments of Seath. If you haven't seen already, the sides of the area are all made of books. So, well, they're not just made of books. These are just a lot of books that Seath has been reading, and I don't even know how Seath reads, considering he is just a giant dude, a giant dragon, so I have no idea how he's able to find time to read all these books, or maybe he just has like the best monocle ever, and he's able to read all these books. That guy gets away, so we're going to ignore him for now. We'll run on down using our hidden body for as long as possible, but it's about to run out. Considering we reactivated it right when we exited the prison. These guys are relatively safe to fight. You just have to be careful of their highly telegraphed grab attack, which is when they have all their tentacles go up into the air and they try and jut forward at you. All you have to do is just roll the way and hit him in the face, and that should be no problem at all. So these are what drove Seath the Scaleless mad. All these books on the outside of this area, all of them, they drove Seath the Scaleless crazy. And but this was the promise that Gwyn gave him in return for Seath betraying the Dragon Brethren. So that is kind of interesting. He decided to kill all the dragons just so he could learn everything he wanted to. However, at the time, I would think that dragons were pretty badass, and probably if they wanted to learn stuff, they could have just killed everyone and then gotten Seath to do that anyway. But then we wouldn't have this badass story that is Dark Souls. So Seath being the last dragon, I would assume. One of the last dragons, if not the last dragon. Following the story, I'm pretty sure he's the last dragon alive. So yeah. Anywho, we will use Hidden Body, which will hopefully help us out in this area, but it's really only to get past monsters. It's really not much of an item for offensive use, but a lot of the time it can help you out in not angering monsters you don't want to be found. We are using this in combination with the Great Magic Weapon, which is helping us one-shot some of these monsters here. These monsters here, you'll note that they are larger than all the rest, and they do not retaliate. See how I hit that one in front of me, and it did not try and turn around to hit me. As well as these are the only ones that drop miracles of sunlight, which leads people to believe that those were the Maidens of Guinevere. Actually, I'm almost 100% sure that those are the Maidens of Guinevere. However, Guinevere hasn't been in existence for who knows how long, considering Gwendolyn was trying to cover up the fact that she is in fact gone. So, very interesting. What did Seath do? Maybe Seath had something to do with with Guinevere being gone. Okay. I'm really bad at naming people. Yes, Guinevere, the illusion, with Gwendolyn being the one that's trying to cover it up. So yeah. Very, very, very interesting. I'm getting my ass kicked while trying to fight these guys. I took down the guy that does the most damage, the one that has the multiple blades, because if he does one flurry on me, it is game over. He can hit you 3 times in the blink of an eye, and you won't be able to do anything about it. And usually the first hit will break your poise, so you probably will be in a very bad situation. So we'll grab the backstab on one of these guys, as I have been fishing for a backstab probably this entire fight. Trying to just take them all out. Getting the final backstab here. Still has a chunk of life left, so we'll go ahead and swing, miss, swing, hit, and we are good to go. Then we'll grab the Archive Tower Giant Key, which is where that one lizard decided to flee away from us. That's where the giant door will be. And we'll turn off the annoying evil sounds that they made, all those squid things that Seath tortured. You know, we'll turn that off, because that noise is really annoying, and yeah, it is a really annoying noise, and no wonder it drives those things crazy. Anyway, we'll head up the stairs and grab any of the doors that we in fact missed, so we could grab all the items that we need, or any of the items that we may have missed. Now, someone noted that I should get the bottomless box. Yeah, I completely forgot about the bottomless box. That is my bad. I should have grabbed one. In the Undead Berg? I'm pretty sure it's Undead Berg. Man, I haven't played this game in forever. And by forever, I mean a week. So, yeah, that's how it is. I haven't played the beginning part of this game for a long time. I've been committing a lot of characters to game completion more often than not. Anywho, we'll take out this guy that's in the door, open it up. It would be cool that if you freed that guy, he would come out and support you in your battle, but he is most likely just driven mad, and that's probably why he was put in there. But we will now head up to the top of the stairs and use the ladder. Now there's going to be one more set that we're going to grab. Actually, it comes with a ring that I was tempted to use, but I decided not to. It basically unlocks an extra attunement slot for those that do not want to add in more attunement slots. However, I was already planning on using one, or leveling up one more time to get my attunement to level 14, I believe it was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 14. That guy knocked me off, which was extremely annoying, but then he killed himself anyway, so we got his great sword. I'm never going to use that great sword. I probably don't even have the strength to do it. Or actually, I probably do. On this character, I actually have 27 strength, which is ridiculous, and probably one of the reasons why I am using the longsword, considering its scales with, I think, an E rating, possibly an E rating, with strength. I could be wrong about that. Anywho, this is the maiden set, which also leads us to believe that Seath did experiment on the maidens of Guinevere. So, yeah. That is definitely very much, probably, most likely, the case. And then we'll grab this ladder for the second and last time to grab the door that we have now the key for. And then we'll be able to almost head directly towards where Seath is. All we have to do is grab this door and turn a couple of staircases, which will allow us to make an escape. It's amazing how Seath the Scaleless was right outside of Anor Londo this entire time. Or I guess he's kind of in Anor Londo. He's just in one of the giant, like, tower areas. I don't know what you would call these places in castles. I don't know too much about castles. For instance, I don't know too much about anything, so, you know, fancy that. I'll try and take down the archer first and succeed very easily. The archers seem to have a lot less health than the guys that are using sword and shield, which is always a bonus for me. Now to the left here there is a mage. I'm using my last hidden body, so I'm counting on it to work. It would have been nice to have an extra hidden body. Maybe I should have used the bonfire, but I didn't want to risk getting killed by more of those serpent men, so I went, you know what, I have one hidden body, we're going to use it, we're going to see how well it works, and go for broke. Luckily, it seems that it works fairly well. I don't have to worry about dodging archers constantly either, which those guys are just a pain in the ass. So, if you've ever been having issues with this place and have no idea where you're going, all you have to do is just turn both the stairs once. On the first set of stairs, you go up, and on the second set of stairs, you can go down, and you will be able to find the place that you need to go to. Thus, saving you a lot of time, because, man, you can be turning those stairs around a lot, going through a whole bunch of fogs and not actually knowing where the hell you are, and being completely lost. So, luckily you have your good old neighborhood, or friendly neighborhood Akabane here. So there is a mage up here. I do try and kill him, but unfortunately these mages are way too crafty and complete jerk faces, so we are not able to take him out in time before he teleports to the bottom half of the side that we're actually headed to. So I decided to just completely ignore him and get the hell out of here. You can pretty much passive run this entire area. All I have to do is kind of push some enemies out of the way, so it's really not that difficult of an area to mess with. However, I would say it's probably the most difficult part of Anor Londo to deal with, which I wouldn't really consider this place to be Anor Londo anyway, considering you need the Lord Vessel to get it. But it is quote-unquote part of Anor Londo. It is a area that is right next to the place. Anyway, we'll activate those stairs, so we'll be able to have our access directly towards Seath, and we'll unlock our shortcut to a nice little bonfire in case we die. But hopefully we don't die. Now, I was led to believe there's supposed to be a ember somewhere. This is, by the way, where Big Logan, or Big Hat Logan would be. Unfortunately, we haven't freed him from Sen's fortress, such as my bad, so he wasn't in the cage, and I hope he's still there. I hope he's still there so we can go free him. Oh well. Anyway, this is the bonfire. As you can see, it's right next to the place we want to be at. Still pretty sure I missed an ember. I think it was like an ice ember or something like that. So that is my bad that I missed it. I have actually no idea where it is. I think I just find it by luck most of the time. So that would explain why I missed it this time, because I was almost 100% sure I knew where it was. Oh, and here's the situation where I realized that, hey, I don't have the bottomless box. I'm trying to look for different gloves to try on, because I feel like these aren't the gloves I want. I'm trying to steal Vegeta 311's look with the painted Guardian robe. and the gloves and the pants. Unfortunately, I can't find the same gloves. I have no idea where they are, so I can't completely rip them off. Damn it. Oh, whatever. Anyway, we'll go ahead and make our way towards Seath the Scaleless, who is probably the easiest boss that has a part of a Lord Soul. Oh, I don't think he has actually part of a Lord Soul. I think he has a whole one. I think the one of the enemies that have part of a Lord Soul is in fact the four kings who were gifted or given part of Gwyn's Lord Soul. The nice thing about the Lord Vessel is the fact that you don't need 4 full Lord Souls. All you need is 4 parts of Lord Souls. So luckily in all we're going to have like 2 full ones and 2 bequeathed Lord Souls. So that is going to help us out pretty much immensely. Although, I think it would have been cool to see if Seath had his own weapon, but I guess that wouldn't really make sense. Maybe like the Scaleless longbow or something that does curse damage to your enemy. Which I don't think actually you get any items in this game that do curse damage. I could be very much wrong. Maybe Nido could have a weapon. But then again, he also has a Lord Soul, so then you don't know what potential weapons you can have. Maybe you can have Dragon Bone weapons by combining Seath's soul and Nido's soul together and being able to make probably the coolest souls ever. And totally rip off Skyrim with Dragon Bone weapons, I guess. But still, it would be really, really cool, and unfortunately, you can't do that. So, basically, these are the 4 most useless souls in the game when it comes to weapon making. However, they are the 4 most useful souls if you want to come to kill Gwyn, considering you kind of need them. Or you could probably glitch your way into Gwyn's room, but who does that nowadays? Anyway, I was looking for my short bow. Again, I do not have the bottomless box, which I am deeply regretting right now. So I'm looking for my longbow so I can snipe and try and take down the crystal golem. This is one of those crystal golems that when you kill him, he's gone for good. So this is one of the reasons why I was trying to pull him over and do as much damage as possible to him to pull him. Unfortunately, I'm just really an awful shot, or I can just not hit him, or I was not doing any damage to him that was actually worthwhile. So I decided to just give up and go across and try and evade through him because I just did not want to waste my time. Or your time, because your time is more important than my time. Anywho, we'll try and run right past him. Again, he's a little bit bigger than the normal guy, so to be a little bit careful. I could have fallen off there if I got a little bit unlucky. Near the end of that little part there, you saw that I was starting to slide and slip off, so you just have to be a little bit careful. Here's some lizards that you can grab. All you have to do is just turn around like I did, and you can grab up to, I think, 5? I think there's 5 there in total. Some of them disappear before you even drop down, so you have to be really quick about it, or else you are going to miss the entire thing. Alright, so now we are heading up towards the actual Seath battle, the one that seems that would be a very fun battle to do. So I activate my hidden body, which lasts for 30 seconds, and I'm going to try and, for the first time, evade all of these clams, because I hate them. They are the worst. They are the bane of my existence, so I try and get around them. Unfortunately, they all aggro, but I know for a fact that they won't follow me too far. So let's begin the fight. Okay, so now we have to take on Seath the Scaleless, the first of the 4 Lord Souls that we will be trying to take by force of violence. Now, first thing we need to do, we need to take out this awesome little eternal life item here, which basically makes it so he regens his health really, really fast. I'm pretty sure there's a video out there of someone killing him before he can regen enough health. However, we're not going to be doing that today because he has a lot of it. So we're going to trick him and make him take it out for us. And he'll feel really, really bad about it. Actually, so bad about it that he'll flail around his tails probably for the next hour. Yeah, he gets a little bit pissed off when he does things on his own. So, we'll just get out of the way of his tails and try and survive the fight. Now, as long as you are pretty close to the front of him, you should have no problems. By the way, you can cut off the back of his tail, his very back tail. Not the left or right one, but the back one. And you're able to get an item from it. However, I never use the item, so I'm pretty sure it's not that useful. I've gotten it before, but I've never seen any interested in using it. So if you are interested in seeing a Seath weapon, which is actually, I just said before, I wish there was a Seath weapon. Well, I guess there is one, because you can cut off his tail. But oh well, not really worried about it. Anyway, he's a very easy boss, probably one of the easiest boss of the game. Not to mention he is the easiest boss of the 4 Lord Souls. I would say 4 Kings is more difficult than him, so I'm going to say that Seath is probably the easiest one. Just wait until he does his attack where he arcs around a kind of a horseshoe of an attack, do a few hits in the middle. You could probably be a little bit more generous with the attacks and do probably 4 or 5. But I try and get out of the way as best as possible. You can see my curse actually going up. And at the time I was a little worried. I was actually thinking that maybe I would have gotten cursed, but it seems that his curse ability when you're really far away does next to nothing, so it's really not a big deal. I noticed that there was a clam in the boss fog, so I was trying to get really far away and hopefully not have to worry about him doing anything to us. Also, it seems that when you get to the really low amount of crystals, he is pretty much not able to curse you at all or do any damage. So here's a scene where Seath decided to derp out, his AI decided to derp out and to stare at me. We had a little bit of a connection there. I think we fell in love for a second and then it just broke apart. So there is a Seath the Scaleless fight. In the next episode, we will be doing the DLC. DLC probably will be in 2 parts because it's fairly long. But other than that, I am Acabane 101, and I will see you in the next Dark Souls episode.